one, I want to echo this above ground railroad idea. That's been in the back of my mind since day one when this started, that we need to have supportive communities in the locations where people go. And as you know, because of the way that the immigration cycles have worked, we have large communities of immigrants in areas of the country where previously there wasn't a lot of immigration, like Arkansas. I mean, who goes to Arkansas? North Carolina, large amounts of people going to North Carolina, South Carolina. We've got lots of people heading to Oklahoma. I tried to convince them not to do that. The point being is that there are communities that are going to be in need of assistance in where you are. And that's what I often tell attorneys who call me and say, hey, Jodi, how can I help? What can I do? I'm going to come down to the border. Don't come to the border. Not now. We've moved everyone out, away from the border. I need you to be an attorney for them up in Kansas City. I need you to be an attorney in New Orleans, in New York, wherever it is. So that's the first and foremost is to organize within your communities. Second thing that I would suggest is money. We need money. This is not something that will be able to sustain itself. There is no government funding. There is no grants that are being passed out to be able to do this. The Net, the RGV site, is one way that you can support the Angry Tias. For a longer term support, I would invite you to consider making a repetitive donation to La Posada, which is the only refugee shelter along the Rio Grande Valley. That's in San Benito, and they have been operating for 25 years by an order out of Indiana, the Sisters of Divine Providence. They're consistently in need, and they shelter refugees both short-term and long-term. So those refugees that have no one here are given a home, a comfortable place to live, to be educated, to work, to be members of a community, and to thrive while they go through their process. And you can donate to them. I'll give you that website. It's lppshelter.org. That's La Posada ProvidenciaShelter.org.
What is it again?
lppshelter.org. The third thing that I would ask you to do is to spread your stories. Now, there's a reason that I have this tattoo on my arm. My mother hates it. She's really mad that I put it there because she's old school and she didn't want me to have a tattoo on my arm. But my tattoo is on my arm because there's a story to be told. I want somebody to tell me, hey, why do you have that on your arm? What is that? What does it mean? What does it say? It's because I want to tell a story. We are all peacemakers. My tattoo is about peace. My tattoo is about spreading that peace. My tattoo is about changing the narrative, is about changing the image that other people have about immigrants. Okay? We are all mothers, or we are children of mothers. There's only two types of people in the world, and that's it. That's the only two types of people that there are. And if you can come up with a way that you can share your story in a way that it connects with someone else. Someone asked me, how can I have Mary from Cincinnati, Ohio, connect with Maria from Tegucigalpa? I'll tell you how. Mary was a victim of domestic violence. So was Maria. They're the same. Their story is the same. Their struggle is the same. And if Mary can tell Maria's story, that's powerful to be able to change the narrative in the public. So I invite you to find your connection and to spread that story about whatever immigrant. It doesn't have to be Central American immigrants that we're facing now, but about any immigrant story. Share that narrative. But the last thing, and quite frankly, at this point, maybe it's the most important thing. Everyone has a cell phone, except me because I broke my cell phone 5 days ago. I'm going to get a new one though, I promise. On your cell phone, take the time, and if you don't have it already in there, take the time right now to pull it out and put in your contacts, your 2 senators and your congressmen. And every single day, when you're getting dressed, when you're drying your hair, when you're waiting around the 3 minutes, to warm your car up, dial each one of those numbers and demand change. And that change that you demand can be anything. And it may be demand the end to children in detention. Maybe the issue of the day is to demand an end to for-profit prisons. That's the key. That's the key. When we put $1 on the government function of depriving liberty, we have spiraled down to that bottom pit of tyranny. We've got to get rid of private prisons. Maybe it's, a family that has been affected because their father, spouse, brother has been deported and would have to stay outside of the country for 10 years. Maybe you want to end that bar for the 10 years. Whatever it is, it'll literally take you 3 minutes to make 3 phone calls and do it every single day and be a tally mark on that sheet that whatever the staffer is will tally up at the end of the day, because that's how they're going to make their priorities for legislation. That's how our government is going to work. And you know what? People who hate loud. We love loud. Make your tally marks count. That's what we have to do. So I ask you to do those things.
Thank you.